When you're standing in front of a weld joint, the last thing you want is a machine that makes you guess whether you've got the right settings, or a cooler that quits halfway through a run. That uncertainty is why a lot of hobbyists and shop owners pause before they click Add to Cart. In this review, I'm going to walk through exactly what the Miller Syncrowave 212 water-cooled package does for you in the shop, where it saves you time, and where the hidden costs might bite. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have with a water-cooled TIG system is the extra plumbing and the perception that it's a shop-only tool. I've seen beginners wonder whether they'll have to set up a permanent water line, or if the unit will be a hassle to move around a job site. The Syncrowave 212 tries to answer those concerns right out of the box. The cooler is a closed-loop reservoir that comes pre-filled, and the pump runs automatically when the welder powers up. You don't need a separate chiller or a permanent drain. In practice, you can roll the whole package on a small dolly, plug it into a standard 240V outlet, and start welding after a minute of warm-up. That simplicity is a real time saver for anyone who's juggling multiple projects in a tight space. Water cooling itself is a trade-off you have to weigh against traditional air-cooled welders. The big advantage is that the torch can run at higher amperage for longer periods without overheating. In a typical aluminum-to-aluminum joint, you might need a steady 180A arc for a clean bead. An air-cooled unit would start to throttle down after a few minutes, forcing you to pause and let it cool. With the Syncrowave's water-cooled head, you can maintain that 180A continuously, which translates to smoother welds and less rework. The downside is the added weight of the water reservoir, roughly 30 pounds, so the unit isn't as easy to carry up a ladder as a lightweight inverter. If you're a shop owner who stays on the ground floor, that's hardly a problem. If you're a mobile contractor who needs to hop between rooftops, you'll need to factor in a cart or a sturdy hand truck. The auto-set feature and the LCD interface are where Miller tries to make the machine feel less like a black box. When you turn the power on, the screen walks you through a quick questionnaire: material type, thickness, AC or DC, and preferred bead size. After you answer, the welder automatically selects the appropriate amperage, balance, and waveform parameters. In real-world use, this cuts the dial into right settings, time from 10 minutes to under a minute. I tested it on inch stainless pipe and on a 5mm aluminum panel, and the machine settled on the correct AC balance for the aluminum without any manual tweaking. That convenience is a genuine productivity boost for shop environments where you're switching between materials every hour. Versatility is another selling point. The Syncrowave 212 isn't just a TIG machine. It also handles stick and flux cord processes, which means you can run a single power source for 3 different welding styles. For a small fabrication shop that still does repair work, that eliminates the need for a separate stick welder tucked away in a corner. The downside is that the control layout can feel crowded when you're in stick mode. The dial that normally fine-tunes AC balance gets repurposed, and you have to scroll through the LCD menu a few more times. If you're a pure TIG specialist, you might not need that extra capability, and the added complexity could be a minor annoyance. Let's talk about the materials you'll actually be welding. Stainless steel, especially the 304 and 316 grades, demands precise heat control to avoid warping. The Syncrowave's precise current regulation, combined with the water-cooled torch, keeps the heat input stable even on long runs. In a test welding a 6-foot stainless rail, the torch never had to back off, and the bead stayed uniform from start to finish. When you move to aluminum, the machine's AC balance control shines. Aluminum's oxide layer melts at a lower temperature than the base metal, so you need a clean, high-frequency start and a balanced AC waveform. The auto set picks a suitable frequency and balance, and I saw a clean, crack-free weld on a 2mm sheet without having to adjust knobs manually. Those real-world results are where the advertised precision control actually pays off. Daily usability isn't just about how the machine starts. It's also about how it feels after a full day of work. The Syncrowave's cooling system stays quiet, no screaming pump noises that you'd hear on cheaper water-cooled units. The LCD stays bright even under shop lighting, and the foot pedal response is smooth, giving you a natural feel for the arc length. On the flip side, the water reservoir does need occasional top-off. Miller recommends checking the level after every 8 hours of continuous use, which is a small maintenance task, but one you can't ignore if you're running the welder all day. Also,